So, Alien Romulus had its premiere. It's had its premiere, and the reactions are coming out. There was some reactions last week, so these are more reactions. They're a bit more in depth, and they're interesting. So, let's take a look at some of these reactions. First and foremost, just a very quick: are you guys excited for this? Yes or no?
Yes.
I am.
Excellent. Well, let's have a look and see whether at the end of these reactions you're more or less excited. So I think this will be interesting. So the premiere, like I said, was last night. So we've got one from Boris Kit. It says Alien Romulus has all the great hallmarks of what you would expect in an alien flick, but never feels like it's pandering to nostalgia or fan service. And it even goes into crazy new direction. Fede Alvarez and the cast just gave birth to summer's best movie. Alien Romulus is absolutely gorgeous and somehow honors every single movie that came before. Kaylee Spaney and David Johnson are great leads, and the alien effects are so satisfying. The finale will be divisive, but I loved it. Big fan of this one. Now, just for context, because you'll see loads of people go, oh, the end's going to be divisive. I actually don't think it is. I don't think it's going to be divisive remotely. From what I know about it, it's very, very horror-filled. It's pretty disgusting and gross. So it's a very horror-filled third act, and it lays the framework for some interesting things to come. I don't think it will be as divisive as what they are making it out to be. So that's coming from what I know of the film anyway. Alien Romulus is shockingly good. This movie is so inventive with horror, thrills, and visuals, while never crossing into gratuitous blood or gore, which is actually quite unusual for Fede Alvarez, to be fair, because he loves his gratuitous blood and gore. It emulates the original Alien movie so well, and to pick my jaw up off the floor in the third act, that was insane. Wow. I've got some over here as well I want to get to. Mix it up a bit. Alien Romulus is tense, gory, and occasionally genuinely scary, with two strong lead performances. Some things don't work, too spoilery, and Alvarez overdoes the fan service. But all things considered, it might be the third best Alien movie, and I'm an Alien 3 apologist. Okay, the bad. Ridiculous nods and callbacks to earlier movies that don't even make any sense to this story. Random lines of dialogue originally said by the likes of Hudson and Burke in Aliens. It's so unnecessary and distracting, and I'm not even getting to the big ones. So I want to address that. The stuff by Hudson is the game over, man, game over. And it's not a spoiler, but I just want to I want to sort of what that is in the film. So it's actually, there is a video game where it's literally a game over, man, game over at the end of a video game. So the implication is, if this is set between Alien and Aliens, is that Hudson actually got that from a video game, which actually makes a lot of sense. I quite like that, because he strikes me as the type of character in universe that would play video games. Because he is he's a bit of a Jack the Lad type, Like, I quite like that idea. I think that's cool. This is the same ones over here. So, Alien Romulus leans heavily into its horror origins to craft a relentless, visceral thrill ride that starts off slowly and increases in intensity until you're left gasping for breath by the end. Devoid of any thematic depth, it incorporates so many winks, nods, and moments of, and it will say, like, nostalgia. Alien Romulus is the first time I've been terrified during one of the Alien movies. Kaylee Spaney's Rain is a perfect character to follow on this journey, and through Fede Alvarez's twists and turns, you never really know where Romulus is headed. The third act is truly wild. Alien Romulus takes a bit to get going. This actually contradicts everything I've heard about the film from test screenings. They're like, Alien Romulus takes a bit to get going. I heard it was just balls to the wall pretty much straight away. So, really interesting. But turns to true horror in the third act. So there's the third act correlation again. And has some similarities with previous Fede Alvarez films. Some decent surprises and callbacks, to be sure. The facehuggers gave me the creeps, but that's me having a spider thing. Alien Romulus is mostly a gratuitous nostalgia play, remixing what came before with some occasionally strong thrills, but in a franchise famous for its psychosexual weirdness, it's the safest, blandest, and most vapid the series has ever been. I did not love it. And it goes on and on and on. I can read out some more if you'd like, but what is your general sort of thoughts and feelings on all of this right now?
I think everybody's going to have their own reaction to it, and of course, it depends on where you are in the Alien franchise, fandom. I'm kind of an Alien 3 apologist myself. I like the work print version of it, but it's to me, it's probably the third, just like it is numerically. I can't watch Resurrection again. I won't. I don't. It. Prometheus had its moments. Alien versus Predator 1, good. Alien versus Predator 2, couldn't tell you, can't remember anything about it. But this needs to go back to horror. The first one was a horror movie in space, and it got away from being horror ever since. And once James Cameron took it over, which I loved, Aliens, I thought it was probably one of the best sequels ever made, science fiction sequels ever made. But it wasn't horror, and this looks like it could be. Now, when they're talking about these callbacks, I mean, I hope somebody doesn't say, I say we just nuke it from orbit. I mean, I hope we're not getting verbatim quotes from the earlier movies. That will take me out of it. And I hope that the third act doesn't get into something supernatural. If it does, if it stays,
It doesn't.
No. Well, then I think it has potential to be very good. If the acting is good and there's no messaging in it, there's no reason for this film not to do well. There seems to be a lot of hype, and I think the time is right. This person saying Prometheus is better than Romulus, that worries me, but I don't know. I don't know what Jake's takes are. So if
they're not very good, actually.
Well, if they're usually bad, then this could be good.
Yeah, he's a bit of a shill type.
Gotcha.
Guy. So yeah.
I feel like that, there's people that if I'm excited to see it, I want to see it. And I hear reviews like this that make me want to see it. Obviously, I'm more inclined and attracted to those reviews, and I'm distracted and put off.
There's obviously a bias.
Yeah, of course. I would like for it to be good. The problem, obviously, as we know, modern Hollywood sequels don't have a great track record. So it may be bad. I hope it's at least as good as Alien 3. I'll leave it there.
Everything I know about it, I think it will be much better than that. So
I hope you're right. I really do. I hope you are so right.
We'll
know this weekend.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, I'll know in a couple days. But in going through all of our coverage and the things that you've talked about in individual videos, Nate, I would say that I'm very much looking forward to this. I think it will be brilliant. And I think it's going to settle really well right into the middle of all these other films, because this is not a sequel. It's not. It's like a midquel.
Yeah.
It falls. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm kind of stoked for that, regardless of what anybody else involved in the previous projects think. But this is one of those things where we've needed this for a long time. It's heavy on practical effects. The sets look amazing. The fawning over the two actors that are in this has not missed my notice at all. And like I said, everything I have seen looks amazing. And so, I mean, I'm gonna go in there ready to watch a good movie. If it disappoints me, Lord help anybody that gets in my way to talk about it on my channel. Because let me tell you, I'm gonna just tear it up. So I want it to be good, and I trust Fede Alvarez. So there's that.
Yes, well, he's a good director, and he loves the franchise. So there's a lot of hope there.
That's
We've got some superchats about this. So Bailey Boy says, so hyped for this film. Just got my Reebok bug stompers for this film.
Oh, yeah. Did we talk about the tennies? The tennies that came out?
There's cool loads of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool as heck. I was flipping out. I was like, that's so cool. Anyway, sorry.
Do you think Fede Alvarez will do another film if this does well? 20th Century Fox has a habit of asking those people to keep coming back. Yeah. So if this film does well, I'm sure 20th Century Studios now will ask him to come back. I don't necessarily know if he will come back, but make no mistake, 20th Century Studios will ask him to come back because they love doing that. They're like, oh, it does well, yeah, get him to come back. They've just done it with Dan Trachtenberg, right? Prey released. They're like, yeah, have him come back for 2 movies. So yeah, they'll ask him to come back for sure. AMC, this is from Man Sam Sung. AMC theaters in the US are having an Alien fan event on Thursday with a limited number of Alien popcorn buckets and more. So jealous. We don't get any of that here. So jealous. So jealous. We got some super chats over on Streamlabs. Dragon Reborn says, my mum got me into the Alien franchise. Remember when we were in the UK, only had 4 channels. Aliens first came to TV. Mum was watching it in my room when I was 8 and my brother 4. And my mum said that we should be asleep, not watching it. And from then on, been a fan. What a legend. Absolute legend. All right, we'll move on from this.